Here's another one from the darkness. The darkest reaches of the internets. A conceptual understanding. Canada just updated their laws on child pornography. Possession and access to child porn is what they're looking after, or the characterizations that they're chasing down now. Now, anybody who knows and understands how this stuff actually functions on the internet knows that if you are on a website and somebody illegally embeds some illegal material within that page that you're scrolling down, say Facebook, X, whatever, and it doesn't get filtered out before you reach it, and you happenstance scroll past it, whether you look at it or not, you have to understand, by Canadian law, that is a crime. Possession and access to child porn. If somebody embeds child porn in, say, X, and you scroll past that post on X before it gets removed, you have possession and access to child porn, because the buffer of that video loads that video onto your device. It is de facto in your possession, and you legally have access to it. This law is very badly worded. What it should say is possession and seeking of child pornography. It should say child abuse material, because it is child abuse material. Children cannot consent. As far as possession, it should say seeking and observing while in possession of child abuse material. This would be technically accurate. Otherwise, what you're saying is you're going to arrest people who merely happen to be scrolling through a website, unaware this stuff is present there, and thus they are legally in possession and have access to child abuse material. Wow, Canada. You guys used to pride yourself on having a better grasp on the English language than we do. And I don't want to commend anybody on this. I agree with the law. I agree that this should be a thing. There should be minimum sentences. But I 100% don't agree with that wording that I saw, because that is grossly inaccurate and too broad. It really should say anyone who is consuming, seeking, while in possession of child abuse material. It needs to be a little more specific, because otherwise you're going to catch people who are completely innocent scrolling through it, and whether or not they see it, whether they have basically you're telling everybody that they shouldn't be running autoplay on anything, anywhere, including Twitter, Facebook, or any of that stuff, because I don't know what it looks like, because I don't scroll through a whole lot of feeds. I'm shadow banned on most things. So I don't get new content fed into my feed. My feed is extremely restricted to pretty much the same people over and over again. Mostly it's all the politicians and government people, personnel and newscasters and stuff like that. But the point remains that this is a very poorly worded law. And I would have liked it if somebody had questioned me prior to writing this, because this is terrible. I don't know what kind of role this person has in the tech industry. I'm going to presume that they're probably members of the Royal Mounted Canadian Police. They're probably a Mountie or something of that nature. And they're probably maybe they're a former Mountie and now they're in the government, or a lawyer or something like that, because they don't appear to quite understand how this technology works. Is when it gets buffered and cached, that means it's on your device. Even if it's at the edge level, it is technically on your device, because it's the actual edge is your device. If you're not aware, it's just that it loads immediately. Does that make sense? So when you're scrolling through, when the video scrolls past your screen or scrolls past your device, it's already on your device. If it's your cell phone is an edge device. It is an IoT device. That's how the carrier observes it. That's how the internet observes it when you build for the internet. It loads things off of the edge network, which is literally still just the network and the internet itself. So your cell phone technically is the internet, architecturally speaking. Like, it is the internet. So if you create something on your cell phone and you create it on an app that's on the edge and all this other stuff, IoT style app, it's already observable on the local server by the time you push it somewhere. And when it's uploading, it's going from the edge server, which is basically whatever cell tower, the server attached to whatever cell tower you're attached to whatever CDN or whatever pipeline node. And then it gets sent to usually a larger database, an object database or whatever, wherever that might be. But the point is, it's already on your device when you scroll past it. So your law would incriminate 1 million people scrolling through it that happen to see, a baby nip slip or something. And now it's child abuse material all over their device. And it caches that they did it because, when they scroll through the IP address, the request to the server, request to that file, it's cached on the edge server, and as they scroll past it, they technically have possession and access to it. So, your wording needs to change. But I like the law. That's nice. It's good. It's good work. That's some good legislation. Minimum sentences. That's a step forward. That's a really good step forward. I appreciate it.